I wonder what would be my salary for this week. Since my work pays 80 per hour and my work hour is unstable. So, in day 1, I worked 8 hours, day 2, 10 hours, day 3, 9 hours, day 4, 6 hours, day 5, 8 hours, day 6, 9 hours, and day 7, 7 hours.
Since Charlene work pays 80 pesos per hour, then the hour of work is our input or the independent variable. The rate per hour is our coefficient, and the income for the day is our output or dependent variable. These situations show a real-life application of function. But what is a function? A function is a special type of relation between one variable, the independent variable, and the another variable. A function is any expression that produces exactly one answer for any given number that you give it. With that, we can formulate the function notation of the situation as f of x equal 80x.
X represents the hours she worked for that day. In day 1, she worked for 8 hours. Our input is f of x equals to 80x. If x is equals to 8, our process is f of 8 equals to 80 times 8. Our output is f of 8 equals to 80 times 8 is equals to 640. Therefore, her income for day 1 is 640 pesos. In day 2, she worked for 10 hours. Our input is f of x equals 80x. If x is equals to 10, our process is f of 10 equals to 80 times 10. Our output is f of 10 equals to 80 times 10 equals to 800. Therefore, her income for day 2 is 800 pesos. In day 3, she worked for 9 hours. Our input is f of x equals to 80x. If x is equals to 9, our process is f of 9 equals to 80 times 9. Our output is f of 9 equals to 80 times 9 equals to 720. Therefore, her income for day 3 is 720 pesos. In day 4, she worked for 6 hours. Our input is f of x equals to 80x. If x is equals to 6, our process is f of 6 equals to 80 times 6. Our output is f of 6 equals to 80 times 6 equals to 480. Therefore, her income for day 4 is 480 pesos. In day 5, she worked for 8 hours. Our input is f of x equals to 80x. If x is equals to 8, our process is f of 8 equals to 80 times 8. Our output is f of 8 equals to 80 times 8 equals to 640. Therefore, her income for day 5 is 640 pesos. In day 6, she worked for 9 hours. Our input is f of x is equals to 80x. If x is equals to 9, our process is f of 9 equals to 80 times 9. Our output is f of 9 equals to 80 times 9 is equals to 720. Therefore, her income for day 6 is 720 pesos. And in day 7, she worked for 7 hours. Again, our input is f of x is equals to 80x. If x is equals to 7, our process is f of 7 equals to 80 times 7. Our output is f of 7 equals to 80 times 7 is equals to 560. Therefore, her income for day 7 is 560 pesos. And now, to know her income for the whole week, we're going to add her income from day 1 to day 7. In day 1, she worked for 8 hours and her income is 640 pesos. In day 2, she worked for 10 hours and her income is 800 pesos. In In day 3, she worked for 9 hours and her income is 720 pesos. In day 4, she worked for 6 hours and her income is 480 pesos. In day 5, she worked for 8 hours and her income is 640 pesos. In day 6, she worked for 9 hours and her income is 720 pesos. And in day 7, she worked for 7 hours and her income is 560 pesos. And her total income for the whole week is 4,560 pesos.
Here are some examples of function. We were going to use the input process output or the IPO diagram to highlight that the value of f of x corresponds to the value of x. In letter A, our input is f of x equals x cubed minus 64. If our x equals negative 4, then in the process, f of negative 4 equals negative 4 cubed minus 64. The cube of negative 4 is negative 64. Then we're going to subtract 64. Negative 64 minus 64 is equals to negative 128. Then our output is f of negative 4 equals negative 128. In here, our input is the function of g of x equals the absolute value of x cubed minus 3x squared plus 3x minus 1. If our x is 4, in the process, g of 4 is equals to the absolute value of 4 cubed minus 3 times 4 squared plus 3 times 4 minus 1. Using the rule of PEMDAS, we're going to execute first the exponents. 4 cubed is equals to 64 and 4 squared is equals to 16. Then the following operations is multiplication. 3 times 16 is equals to 48. So, 64 minus 48 plus 12 minus 1 is 11. So, the answer is 27. The output for the function is g of x equals 27. Next in here, our input is the function of r of x equals to the square root of 5 minus x. If our x is 3, then in the process, r of 3 is equals to the square root of 5 minus 3. 5 minus 3 is 2. So in the output, r of 3 is equals to the square root of 2. And in here, our input is the function of q of x equals x plus 3 divided by x squared plus 7x plus 12. If x equals 1, then in the process, q of 1 is equals to 1 plus 3 divided by 1 squared plus 7 times 1 plus 12. 1 squared is 1 and 7 times 1 is 7. So 1 plus 3 equals to 4 over 1 plus 7 plus 12 equals 20. So 4 over 20. Therefore, our output q of 1 is equals to 1/5.
Now I know that my salary for this week is 4,560 pesos. Therefore, I can buy the necessities in our house and the things I want. The input process output diagram is really a big help in solving my income.